Hello and welcome to FDN News. I'm Jonathan Kane. Our top story today, the Confederate flag has been the center of controversy this year. Legislators voted to remove it from the South Carolina State House a couple months ago. However, drivers on US 24 can catch a glimpse of the flag as they drive into Huntington. A home that sits next to the state highway has the flag flying high in plain view of the road. According to the homeowner, Karen Holman, people have been very supportive of the symbolic flag. For many, this flag represents a time of slavery and poor race relations. However, Holman tells us local drivers honk in support of the flag 50 or 60 times a day. FDN asked her why she wants to fly the flag here. She requested not to appear on camera, but gave us a specific reason.
We've got it hanging because everybody in our family is military. That is our way of flying the flag so that they know that we respect those people that have died for our country no matter which side they were on. I'm not afraid to fly it. I think that it's important that we help our veterans and that we understand that they are people that have died.
We would love to know what you think about this issue, so feel free to let us know on our Facebook and Twitter pages. The mall was once again filled with cowboy hats and flannel this past Saturday as SAB hosted the annual Hoedown. The event featured food, music, and the much anticipated line dancing competition. SAB brought something new to the table this year. For the first time, students competed in a pie eating contest. 16 students competed in 4 rounds of eating different flavors of full-sized pies. Stratton Harrison won that contest. Quincy White and Rachel Platt won the costume competition, and Logan and Austin Presnell won the dancing competition. This year's Hoedown did not have the mechanical bull and hay rides like last year, but still the event remains a student favorite. SAB hopes to have the mechanical bull and hay ride back next year. Huntington University athletic teams have many goals for how the players they will have each year, but we found out these goals deal with more than just athletics. FDN's Kelsey Cruz has the story.
Huntington University has a total of 19 athletic teams. Each team is expected to have a certain number of players each year. However, these roster goals are not set by administration as some may assume. Rather, the coaches of each team set their own roster goals back in 2012 and may increase their goal depending on the given year. This idea was presented by HU's athletic director, Lori Kohler.
The roster goals were set back in 12-13 for that year based on the proposal that I had put together and the feedback I got, okay, we'll do this if you have roster goals. So I sat down with the coaches at that point, and whoever was coaching at that point was the one that helped me figure out what the best number would be.
The question is, do roster goals serve a purpose other than building the athletic program? President of Huntington University, Dr. Emberton, shed some light on this question.
The university as a whole has an enrollment management plan. We look at a lot of things. We look at new students. We look at retaining the students that we have. But a part of trying to estimate, and I call it guesstimate, the number of students that we're going to have each year, we have to kind of know where they're coming from. In other words, we can't just, okay, well, we're going to have 200 freshmen this year and we hope they come. It doesn't work that way.
Setting roster goals helps the university reach its goal for incoming freshmen each year, which is a great thing. However, I wanted to get a coach's perspective. So I sat down with Huntington University's head volleyball coach, Kyle Shondell, to get his insight on what he sees as both benefits and challenges to setting these goals.
I have an expectation to carry 16 players per year. I think that's a good amount to have on a volleyball roster. And I think that that gives you guaranteed depth in almost every single position. The challenge itself will be in place whether there's a goal or not. So you have to stretch your money the best you possibly can. And that's truly in place on everyone on this entire campus, to where everybody on Huntington University's campus has to do the best they can with the resources they have. And truly, they do about as good of a job as any place I've been.
Lori Kohler is also the head coach for women's basketball at HU. She understands both the benefits and the challenges of having to set roster goals.
We're all very competitive. We want to win. We're not in this profession to lose. And so I'm sure that comes as no surprise to you. But, So I think we're always as coaches trying to look for ways to, be competitive and to win. And obviously, it would help us if we could, have the funds to recruit the studs, but at the same time, with our situation the way it is, we wouldn't have any depth if we did that. So, there's some give and take that has to happen there, and, it's a balancing act.
While coaches continue to set roster goals, President Emberton will hold them to these goals in pursuit of excellence. Although trying to obtain a certain number of players may not always be ideal, it certainly aids in building athletic programs and the university as a whole. Reporting for FDN News, I'm Kelsey Cruz.
President Emberton says academic scholarships and financial aid also serve as incentives for athletes to come to HU. Well, that's all the time we have on this episode of FDN News. Feel free to check us out online at forresterdigital.net and follow us on Twitter at FDN_news. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time.